What happens in Game 3 of the College World Series Finals? Vols win a blowout, Vols win a pitcher's duel, or Texas A&M wins? I did not have a shootout that Tennessee wins because I think if it's a high-scoring game, Tennessee wins a blowout. I don't think A&M's bats have any chance of hanging with Tennessee's bats in this game.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I guess I'm going to sound like Homer Dave, but I'm going to go Tennessee a blowout because I've got Tennessee winning the series. And you're right. A pitcher's duel to me would benefit or be more likely to result in a win by Texas A&M. So I guess I'm going to go with that option. It may sound a little homerish, but I'm going to go with that. Now, what needs to happen for that to happen, Caleb, for Tennessee to win big? Is it as simple as SEMO and Tiers have got to get on track? I mean, they were red hot. They were College World Series superstars, and they've been pretty average. I'll pull up their stats, but how do you explain that? And for the young men, you don't want them to remember the rest of their lives not showing up and playing their best and having their best performance at the College World Series. That would stink.
It would. Well, Xander, who is on the mound tonight, has to have the same type of performances he's been having in big moments all year. That stands out the most. And yeah, the bats have to show up. I mean, it's pretty simple on that. Christian Moore needs to not let the anger get the best of him. He was clearly very upset yesterday when he walked on one of the walks. I'm not going to show it, but he had a profanity-laced tirade at the pitcher. So I think.
What did you make of that incident? Wanted to get into that.
I think he felt he was targeted a few times. And Tony Vitello, by the way, remember Tony Vitello challenged a play where he clearly wasn't hit, but he wanted to send a message of he felt that A&M's pitchers were targeting Tennessee's hitters and were trying to intimidate him a little bit.
Do you think they brought it inside too much, too often?
No.
And I've been an umpire, so I think I can share some insight to this. But what do you think?
I don't think they brought it too much inside. I think the truth is they didn't want to pitch to Christian Moore because he's been tearing them up.
Yeah,
and
see, I've got zero problem with it. And here's the reason why they haven't been consistently high. Now, where I've got a real problem, and I've thrown a pitcher out of a game for high fastballs. And, at some point, you have got to stop that because you could kill somebody. I mean, let's be real honest. I mean, you could. Unless they get high above the letters, that is my rule. So did you think they were high above the letters?
No. There was one pitch on that series which Vitello challenged that was high above the letters. And everything else, I think they tried to play a little bit of an intimidation game. Yeah, but I don't think they were trying to actually I didn't see too many pitches directed at a player. Now, I'm with you. People call me crazy. If someone's throwing at your head constantly, I think it's fair game to charge them out with a bat. I'm totally for that.
Well, okay. Not with a bat. But anyway, but I'm a little 50-50 on it, so I understand because either object could kill you. It's just a little bit harder to.
If they can throw a ball at you, why can't I charge them out with a bat? I mean, Mike Piazza should have whacked Roger Clemens over the head with the bat and cracked his skull. Okay. You
don't want SEMO to attack an A&M pitcher with a bat tonight. Today's tough question. I'm just joking. We're not going to do that. So where does the poll question stand right now? What do people believe is going to happen tonight?
So tonight.
Great point, Elias, by the way. I'll get right back to it. Go ahead.
68% thinks Tennessee wins a pitcher's duel. 32% think they win a blowout. Guys, if it's a pitcher's duel, Tennessee has the pitchers to do it, but they don't want a pitcher's duel.
No, Tennessee can win a pitcher's duel, but that's going to be a 1-in-3 shot. And it's still going to take a great performance at the plate against a very good pitcher to be able to pull that off, even if it is an air quote pitcher's duel. So we'll see what SEMO. Now, how concerned are you about Tiers, if at all? What do you make of him to this point? Because both of those guys came into the finals as superstars, and And let's throw a poll question up there. I'll do that while you tell me your thoughts on Piers. And that is simply, who are you more concerned about, SEMO, Tiers, or nobody?
Well, I think with Tiers, I think he's really been, I think he's been Nick Saban uses the term press, and I think he's been pressing because, I mean, we're talking about a guy who has, let's see, he's had 9 at bats this series, and Dave, he struck out 6 times. So Tiers strikes me as, for the football analogy, guys, you know that running back that is trying to hit the 80-yard run every play?
Yes.
Barry Sanders. Yes, well, Barry Sanders usually did hit the 80-yard run every play, so it didn't matter. I mean, the one who will sacrifice the 4 or 5-yard gain trying to hit that 80-yard run every play. I feel like that's Tiers right now. I feel like that's Tiers. He's trying to, I mean, he's trying to knock it out of the park every single time, I feel like. I mean, he's left now. To be fair, I don't believe he's left anybody on base. So I don't think he's been as greedy as some of the other players because, yeah, as far as I'm aware, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but, oh, no, I take that back. No, he was 0 of 4 on Saturday with runners in scoring position. He didn't leave anybody on base yesterday, but he was 0 of 4 on Saturday with runners in scoring position. That tells me, with, by the way, 3 strikeouts, he saw somebody on second or third. He saw red, and he tried to hit the long ball. That's what he saw. And he came up short both times. So I think this time, I think he's got to back off a little bit, just play his game. But I also think that, again, one of the advantages Tennessee has, don't over-scout A&M's pitchers in this one. They've worked their rotation. They've worked the pitch count. A&M's pitching, I mean, how many pitches did they throw yesterday, Dave, that were 100 miles an hour?
Oh, they had the stat. It was a lot.
It was a lot. You can't really, I mean, they've thrown, all of their best arms have 70-plus pitches already. So it's hard for me to think that Tennessee doesn't have the advantage. Don't over-scout them. Now, stay patient, but don't try to play the guessing game with them. You don't really have to play that in this one.
Dealing with a great point. Getting back to SEMO for a second. I just need SEMO to control himself. Don't get giddy and chase sliders 3 feet off the plate like Burke yesterday. Control himself. You alluded to that. He seems to let his emotions at some point control him, and that's not good. Other key players, as Tennessee will play for a national championship, unbelievable tonight against Florida State. So other key thoughts heading into the game tonight. 15 seconds from Newbert Collision Center.
Now in its 45th year, the second and third generations continue Joe Newbert's commitment.
His vision of what this business needed to be, we still try to live up to that.
Joe Newbert Collision Center.
Caleb, what other key players tonight besides, I think we've mentioned Xander, SEMO, we've mentioned Tiers, Drilling. Who else?
Hunter Inslee in center field is key because Hunter Inslee out there should cut down on the errors significantly. I think that, I mean, again, Kirby Connell, he only threw 1 pitch yesterday. If Tennessee can get a lead, they're going to need him to close it out. He's got to do what he's done all year. He gave up a hit yesterday, but he can't do that again in this one. And I'm going to keep calling it. You guys can hate him. Cal Stark. Cal Stark is crucial. I don't care if he goes 0 for 12 in this game. Cal Stark is crucial to this game. So those are the main ones. And then obviously Xander being on the mound tonight is going to be crucial.
Yeah, you have Christian Moore, Blake Burke, and Billy Amick at the top of Tennessee's order. They're 7 for 25. So at the end of the day, I think the most important stats are going to be what those guys bat. And I could throw, if I wanted to, Tiers, but I'll make it simple. Those guys have got to produce much more than roughly 3.5 hits per
I think
game.
you mean 4 for 25 in the finals.
No, they're combined 7 of 25 in this series. Do you want to double check that on me?
Yeah, if they were 7 of 25, that wouldn't be terrible. But I'm reading
Christian Moore, Blake Burke, and Billy Amick, 7 of 25 to this point.
Because Christian Moore is 1 of 8 in the series, and Blake Burke is 2 of 9, and Amick is 1 of 7.
Okay, so excuse me, that's even worse than I thought. So 5 of 25, they've got to hit much better than that. And the other stat that I want to keep a close eye on is simply errors. Now, we mentioned infield errors, but that's not a separate stat. But at the end of the day, Tennessee can't be giving up. I mean, like you said, they win game 1 if they don't give up errors.
Yeah, they win game 1. I mean, they don't have to come back to beat Florida State if they don't give up errors to open the College World Series. It's been a problem for them the whole time. So I think that's I think that's a big problem. But again, part of this has been Inslee being banged up, and he's going to be back in center field as he was last night. He'll be back in tonight. So I think that should help fix the issue. Many people are. I just want to address this because people are asking a lot of times why Christian Moore is more the leadoff guy. That is a new sabermetric philosophy in baseball. You don't really put your fastest player as the first hitter anymore. You actually put your best slugger as the leadoff hitter. Analytics show you should actually do that. The whole cleanup hitter philosophy is kind of a disproven theory in baseball.
Well, I don't know, it's disproven. It's disagreed with.
It's disproven. It's more important that your best hitter have more at bats than have the chance to clean up the bases and drive in more runs.
I can see that, but I'm not going to discount 100 years baseball thinking. I mean,
100 years of baseball thinking is wrong.
No, I still understand the reasoning to have your slugger in the 4th position, but I would put him in the 1st position to get him more hits, exactly like you said. So I agree with it, but I don't think that the analytic thing is nearly as cut and dry. I tell you what is cut and dry. You got somebody in your family who's getting close to Medicare age, or you are. Did you know you can get complete 100% free Medicare consultation from Medicare Misty?
19 years this year. I've been in the community since 1993. You're getting a lot of information. Unlike when you were working, they made the choice for you. Now you have to make the choice. Come to us and let us help you make it easy. Call Medicare Misty, MedicareMisty.com or 423-777-5577. Let us help them sleep at night.
And we call her Medicare Misty.
All right, Caleb, so let's get your final prediction for the game tonight. Who you got?
I got Tennessee, and I'm with you. I got them winning a blowout. I don't think Texas A&M has the bats to hang with them. Tennessee has worked their pitch count for their best pitchers. And so, look, I did pick Tennessee to win in 2, but I'm sticking now with them in 3. The longer the series went, the more it favored Tennessee. We knew that from the start. So now that they're in game 3, they have all the advantages.
I think Tennessee gets just enough clutch hitting. You look back at it and you say that, and I sound like I'm contradicting myself because I don't think that Tennessee wins a pitcher's duel, but I'm not sure that 6-4 in college baseball, Caleb, would you define that as a pitcher's duel? I mean, to me, a pitcher's duel was more like 2-3.
No, 6-4 is not a pitcher's duel at all.
Yeah. Okay. Even in baseball. I mean, even in baseball where they score more runs, it's not a pitcher's duel. So I got Tennessee with some clutch hits. I got Florida State with not clutch hits because I think Tennessee's better at the plate, and I think Tennessee wins 6-4. So it's not a pitcher's duel, but it's a close game. A close game benefits Florida State. The lower the score is. I'm sorry?
You said Florida State.
A&M, excuse me. I still keep saying that. I've always said that since I was like a kid. I think it's because they both wear similar colors. A low-scoring game benefits Texas A&M, no question. Anything over 3-4 runs benefits Tennessee, and I think that's where it will be.